Hello and welcome to the DayZ Zombie Survival Guide. This is the third part of a 13-part series addressing everything from basic survival tips to the advanced features of the Arma 2 in-game engine. And this week we're going to cover the aspects of other survivors. Other survivors offer the biggest threat in DayZ, posing a big threat to looting locations and tackling simple objectives. So today I'm going to give you a basic ROE of how to engage them, and then finally I'm going to finish off with some final tips and other ways you can use them to your advantage. Right, let's get started. To start with, I'm going to talk about a basic ROE or rules of engagement that I personally use, and it works very well. Right, the first thing is don't aim your weapon at another survivor unless you intend to kill him. Most survivors will panic and start shooting straight away if you're aiming in their direction. The best thing you can do to acknowledge that you've seen the survivor is let off an animation. As I've done here, I've let off a quick signal of me waving my hands to the other survivor. The other survivor now knows that I'm not intending to shoot him. From this, I approach the survivor, but I approach him looking out for cover in case he starts to engage me. In this situation, I'd move to the left into the trees, where I'd quickly deal with him and move on. As you get closer to the survivor, you'll start to realise what sort of equipment and weaponry he has on him. If he has no weapon, he is no threat, and there is no reason to kill someone with no weapon. The next step is communication. There's two ways of doing this. There's direct chat and there's voice over IP. Here I press caps lock and select the direct channel and talk to him directly, where he himself poses the question, am I friendly? And that brings us to trust no one. Just because a person says he's friendly, it doesn't necessarily mean he is. To avoid a backstabbing situation, tell him to lead the way or say that you're lost and you'll follow him. And the final choice is yours. Are you going to join forces or go your separate ways? Right, moving on. We're going to look at the next feature that most survivors leave in their wake, and this is of course campsites. Campsites are normally unprotected unless the occupants are at home. The best thing you can do is hunt for these on the outskirts of maps and in remote areas. Normally at these locations you can find vehicles, spare weapons, ammunition and a hell of a lot of equipment. Of course, this is an extremely dangerous thing to do, as survivors could spawn in at any moment or come back from a looting trip or patrol. When you're entering many of these locations, such as cities and campsites, you may want to change the ROE. If you see another survivor, you may want to shoot first, because he's looking for the same thing as you are. He's looking for some loot, or he's looking to protect his property. And finally, this brings me on to teaming up. Teaming up is one of the funnest ways that DayZ can be played. It allows you to complete a whole number of tasks very easy and efficiently, from building vehicles to looting villages in a matter of seconds. Of course, there's two ways of doing this. Firstly, you can join a gaming community and play with players that know what they're doing and you can trust because they're in some form of voice communication. Or secondly, you can head across the beach until you find someone you meet and ask them if they want to join you on your trip. I recommend that you travel along the beach and ask people and don't head inland, as people will have equal opportunity on the beach, where people that are travelling inland will simply just shoot on sight and loot you for your beans. Now you've got a group together, you'll have to start taking more into consideration. For instance, you're going to have to start sharing out supplies between the members and making sure everyone gets an equal innings when you're looting an area. That brings an end to episode 3. For information on how you can take part in the survival guide, leave your name in the bottom of the comments and I'll get back to you. But I hope you like the episode, like, comment and subscribe.